Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello people and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. My conversation about Man United will not change because of a game. I know that a lot of people want me to crash it on Man United. I know that a lot of people want us to crash it on Man United. I know that a lot of people come here to banter Man United. I know that. I know. You don't like Man United. I don't like Man United. But it will never cloud my analysis of a football match. We can criticize a team. A team like Man United did mistakes today. And a lot of them. A lot of them, by the way. Tons of them. Michael Carrick made mistakes. The players made mistakes. And I spoke about this on the Football Terrace. But if you are, and I'm going to say now, if you are here for banter in Man United, we can have jokes. We can laugh at Man United sometimes. You thought you're going to win every game. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. I am not here to do this today. I am not here to do this today. The team that should be bantered more, what I'm going to say, people can say I have an agenda. If you're 2-0 ahead against Leeds at your home, and then you bottle that lead, that deserves more criticism. What went wrong for Chelsea? Why did Cole Palmer miss? He scored a penalty. Brilliant penalty, by the way. But why did he miss the tap-in? Right? This is what I'm here to do. We're going to analyze both games, guys. If you're here and you want to get involved in the conversation, be my guest in the comment section. Hit that like button, guys, if you guys are here. We're going to talk about Arsenal versus Arsenal and Manchester City title race. Can Manchester City put the pressure on Arsenal tomorrow if they win against Fulham? We got Kyle here, who has been busy lately. He hasn't been hiding. I've got some comments saying that Kyle has been hiding. He hasn't been. Kyle has been busy, got a new job. Congratulations, Kyle. And he's just busy with the job. Dio is always here. There is a lot of glum faces about Manchester United. A lot of glum faces about Man United today. I'm going to say that the positive today, if I'm watching the game, Sesko's goal to go in the 95th minute against a compact West Ham, I'm going to praise Man United today away from home as much as I praised Chelsea when they came back against West Ham the other day from 2-0 down to 3-2. But there's a lot of mistakes that happened in the game today. Slow, sometimes nostalgic in the build-up, no striker in the box, Michael Carrick late in his subs, Amad Diallo. In my opinion, freaking stinker today, and he didn't take him off the pitch. I don't know why. Should have taken off the pitch. I don't know who to put in, but he had a stinker today, to be honest with you. Bruno Fernandes, very slow today on the pitch, overconfident by some of the players. I can't fault Casemiro today. It's one of the guys that I can't fault. I can't fault Kobe Meno today. They did their job. Right? Luke Shaw, sleeping in the goal, without a shadow of a doubt. I thought Lisandro Martinez was exceptional today. Exceptional today, to be honest. Harry Maguire, not bad. The goal that West Ham scored this is the West Ham trademark, to be honest with you. But big up everyone that is here. We got Kyle, we got Dio here, I got Cam. Back, of course, here Cam. And we got Sal, of course. We're going to join by Javon. What do you guys make of the Man United game? I'm going to start with Sal. Sal, you upset?
What's
You
going
look
on, Mo?
upset.
What's happening?
You look upset.
It was an awful performance. Lethargic from the first minute. It was one of the worst performances I've seen all season, to be honest with you. But it's exactly what I expected from this team. They are light switch FC in certain games. We've drawn against the likes of West Ham earlier in the season at Old Trafford 1-1. The game against Wolves 1-1. Bournemouth 4-4. It's these games where we seem to let ourselves down. And it's not just the manager, it's the players as well. A majority of those players that just don't seem to turn up in these sort of games sometimes. And especially when the team goes to the low block, we can't seem to unlock it. We don't know what to do. And we were fortunate from a world-class strike from Sesko, by the way. Absolutely brilliant strike from Sesko. But we were lucky in the end. And but I would say that it's Carrick's first real error in regards to the team he selected. I know he's picked the same team as he has for the last 3 games. I felt he should have changed it a little bit. Play Sesko up front, rather than playing Bremer as the number 9. But even that, he didn't make the changes early enough for me. 70 minutes he made the changes, and it was too little, too late. To be honest with you, we could have had a chance of winning that game. But you know what they say: if you play badly, you get a draw, you get something from the game, and I can only take that as a positive. Of course, we could have easily lost the game,
What do you make of it, Cam? You like when Sal, you're like, oh my, like Sal, your monologue looked like you're crashing. But
honestly, I'm fine with it. Like, it's like, obviously you want to win the game, right? But when you think about in context of everything, you're not going to win every single game. I've made the joke saying we may never lose again, and we still haven't lost, right? The way I look at the game is when people say he should have changed it up from the beginning. I disagree with that. Like, you don't, when you're flying, when everything's working, you keep the team the same. I think I agree with everybody who says he should have made the sub probably 2 minutes. Typically when the goal went in at 50 minutes, you don't wait another 20 minutes. You probably switch it up, especially because you see the way the game's going. Sorry, can you hear me better?
Yeah, much better.
Close to the mic. Much better. Especially when realistically, when you go down a goal and you can just see signs of not being able to break down a low block. Like we aren't great against low blocks. We just haven't been. I mean, lots of teams aren't great against low blocks. The best way to unlock a low block is to put in your attackers and just pepper, right? Just throw in crosses, throw caution to the wind. That's the best way to do it. And I think Carrick was a bit safe, which is fine. Like, it's, again, like, this is, you look at it from the perspective of him, he's still he's figuring out what will work and when it will work. I don't think he needed to I don't think you can make the sub at half like everyone was saying. It's one of those things you don't typically do to players in general. Like, players don't love being subbed off at half. You give the game a bit of time to show itself. So that was the biggest mistake, was just waiting too long. The goal was great. That was a worldie from him. It was, I mean, we were unlucky a few times. Like, we weren't great, but like AWB being literally right on the line, where that was a great set piece play. That was, that to me, were at least the positives I take from it is you're at least seeing the work that's being done in training on the pitch when we get to set pieces, something we weren't seeing very often with Amarim. Like I said, I can't be too upset, because at the end of the day,
a lot of people are negative. A lot of people are too negative for this result.
At the end of the day, like if we had gotten battered, it's like you said, if we were up and lost that game, I'd be upset. But I blame Tottenham for this. I'm going to say this right out loud. I blame Tottenham. No, I blame Tottenham. Listen, because West Ham knew if they win this game, Tottenham had just lost, and they're dragging them into the relegation battle. At the end of the day, a team like West Ham right now, who's fighting for their life, they played like they were fighting for their life. They got up by one point, and they stayed resolute. It's a joke. I don't really blame Tottenham. But I do think when you are playing relegation teams near this time of the year, you have to be prepared for this type of game. And we weren't. You have to be prepared for low block. They're going to try and nick a goal. They need to get points at any way possible. So one thing I would like him to do differently next time is don't just bring in Sesko, bring in both your attackers. Throw caution to the wind and just be like, I mean, we're already down. Now it's time to just go for, you're going to have to get a goal back quickly, and then you're going to hope for a goal in the end. I don't think they were good enough moving going forward that you had to worry about them scoring again, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think we had to worry about that. We had enough control. We were the better side in the second half by a lot. At that point, you just go for it. And that's a learning curve for Carrick. That's not something again, it's hard to crash out on a manager in his 5th game when he's won. This is the part that I struggle with United fans. Like, I find it very difficult. Maybe I'm too rational to crash out on a manager in game 5 after you've won the last 4 and we're playing good football. Like, it's not like
it's the new way of analyzing football. It's the new way of analyzing football. It's just the new way of analyzing football. It's
no sense.
It's like you gotta come to the show and crash it on the team, on the manager, on the player. You have to criticize everyone, and for you to actually be, otherwise you're just making
if we
excuses.
For the last year, it's like put it this way. You know, when with Amorim, it was like we got away with it. You know, if that was happening with Carrick, then you get upset. But it's a slip up, and it happens, and it's the Prem. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm not stressed out about it. I'm not losing my shit. We go again.
The only thing I would say is that we're seeing the same characteristics from the team from previous games, and that's the only worry for me.
How are you saying that? I disagree with you completely.
He's saying from games
we're saying we drew with West Ham.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, but you
absolutely not.
Can I something more? Can I something real quick? I mean,
you can actually get involved because I think this is too negative from Sal.
I agree with what I know what he's saying though. Sorry,
I know what he means, but let me just say this to you. Under Amorim, you felt like every other win that you got or draw that you got as United, you felt like we were lucky to get this under Amorim. Under Carrick, you look a lot more solid, stable. It looks like if United is going into a game, there's a game plan for it. His players are being used in the right way. And that in itself is a total turnaround and a steadying of the ship from what Amorim left behind. Yeah. Yes, Amorim was 3 points from 4th place. I agree. But you went into games panicking that you would lose them or Amorim would miss profile players and the games would end badly. You drew a game today against the West Ham that has been, I'd say, like more or less a bogey team for you in the last few years.
And they've been in good form. They lost in the last minute.
It's not even the good form. It's like it's not even the good form. I'm even saying.
Real quick, because I want to touch on what Sal said, because I think it's really important to not discredit what he said there about seeing characteristics from players, and this is why we are not a fixed side. People need to understand, just because Carrick's gone on and we're looking better, like there are still the characteristic that he's talking about, the playing down to competition, is something that existed before. And it's like, yes, you're going to get the new manager bounce. You're going to get the players up. And like, I'm not going to discredit somebody for saying that.
But you don't fix that in 5 games, though.
No, exactly. But the point is, like,
that doesn't get fixed in 5 games.
That's been going on for years.
Saying is like,
I know, but he's done. But if you look at his, you got to look at his statistics, though. You got to look at what Carrick has done. Carrick has played 5 games. He's won 4 and drawn 1. You've seen those traits in 1 of them. In 4 of them, you haven't seen that trait.
No, but that's
Carrick,
the thing.
just real quick, Cam. If Carrick repeats what he's done now in just 5 games, in the next 5 games, you know that's a good trajectory for you.
But it's
you know, I think a lot of United fans are expecting Carrick now to wave a magic wand and turn things around. 100%. Mo will tell you this, even at the beginning of the season, in the summer, when you guys recruited Mbeumo and Cunha, I told Mo, I said, this is my dark horse United this season. I said, you have quality enough in your players, regardless of manager, to do something this season. And now that you have a manager who knows how to do the basics, just the basics. And remember, regardless of how well he sets you up, you will still lose and draw games this season. This was not a loss. This was a draw. You guys peppered their goal for the last 5.5 minutes.
To be fair.
There were corners. Can
I get Javon, go ahead.
To be fair, United should have lost this game.
Yeah.
United should have lost this game. Callum Wilson, you scrub. He had 2 chances, 1-on-1 with the keeper, and did nothing with it, especially that second chance. It was him, the keeper, and the Lord Jesus Christ himself. And what did he do? Kick the ball into the keeper's leg. So
he was offside. He was offside anyways.
He had seen the linesman. Don't do that.
No, but if it wasn't for Lenny Yoro,
even if he scored, Lenny Yoro is who you need to give kudos to, because
that guy
he came in for Maguire and did the business.
He did. And the United's perspective.
And also, what are we expecting? Like, Man United are pushing everyone forward, Javon.
Hold on. I wasn't finished. You see, you guys like to do this thing. Let me finish my point before you harp on me. From a United perspective, for me, I see a lot of change in Carrick, right? Because unlike past, when you guys were attacking and hunting for that goal, it was more controlled. It wasn't fanatic, right? The subs made sense. Rosenior came in. He moved Ahmad to the left-hand side and Mbeumo to the right and Sesko in the middle. When Sesko was warming up As Mo would know, I hate United with a passion. So when Sesko was warming up, I was saying to myself, "What Sesko come on and score at least the equalizer?" And so said, so done. And Bruno didn't do anything wild. So I think this is just a continuation of the good work Carrick has done. I don't think any Manchester United fan would have expected to see Carrick come in and then just go on an unbeaten run until the end of the season. You were going to drop points. But for me, this was a hard-fought draw when you guys should have won this game.
I don't think they should have won the game.
When you lost the game, sorry, when you guys should have lost the game. My apologies.
But
I
again,
actually think, can I say something, Dio?
Okay,
I actually think that that's a very good point for Man United going away, right? Away to a West Ham side that is fighting the relegation, fighting back to get a point. I think people are getting giddy. They are treating Man United as they should win every single game. They aren't Man City of old. They aren't Arsenal. They aren't going for the title. I believe it's a good point. If you ask Man United, it's a good point. Man United are fighting for top 5.
I think what the disappointing thing for me is that West Ham weren't brilliant. They weren't absolutely phenomenal.
But they executed their plan better than you, Sal. But they executed the plan better than you.
In the end, if we took,
and they are fighting for. Remember, they are fighting relegation.
Guys, all of us, just one point.
Sal, there's also context around this.
We are completely dismissing that West Ham under Nuno Espirito Santo came in with a plan. The players performed well. We're completely dismissing that part. As it's Old Trafford.
You have to. You can't use their position on the table to be the yardstick for how well they play on the pitch. What you need to do is look at all the context around it. First, you're going away. You're going to their home ground. They're fighting for relegation. They've got home crowd support. They're literally going to be there, even if all they wanted to do was park the bus for you not to score. And that's what they did in the first half. They choked you in the first half, regardless of how well you have been playing. Again, you must remember, Michael Carrick will draw and lose certain games. Sadly, this had to be his first in 5. Any United fan that is ultimately upset right now at this United team who turned up in the last 5 minutes, controlled peppering on West Ham's goal. I saw you guys put balls in. I saw Xerxes miss a header that could have been the first goal that literally skimmed past the post. I saw Casemiro's goal that was just literally his knee that was just randomly there offside. Bro, I was driving in traffic when I was watching the game. I could have had an accident today, but I wanted to watch that game because I wanted to see what was going to happen with United. And I followed every single thing. I think United did very well. You showed character at the end of the game. You guys showed character towards the end of the game. Yes,
don't get giddy, Sal. Don't get giddy, Sal. Don't get giddy. Don't get giddy, Sal. You're still Man United, Sal. You finished 15th last season.
And again, I hope you do realize.
Let me just
really say this real quick. I'll finalize on this. I'm looking at it from an experienced point of view in regards to the teams we've drawn against this season.
You are.
I'm happy with the point.
Sal, get one point. Dio has 1 point left.
I said you do realize that you are still unbeaten. I get it. It was 2 points dropped.
We were unbeaten under Amram. 2 defeats in 11. We haven't lost many times this season. This is the thing, But what I would say is that I was disappointed because I felt that United could have got the ball into the box a little bit more earlier. And I think if we did that, I think we would have been winning the game. Definitely would have won the game. I felt we were a little bit not. I would say that we kept it being too predictable in the wings. Ahmad was too predictable. We weren't performing well. We weren't at all. We got a point. It's fantastic. But to say that was a good performance and to say that...
Wasn't. No one said that.
I said
none of us said that. None of us said that.
What I said is your last 5 minutes. Again, Salah, I was very specific. I said your last 5 minutes.
But none of us said that. But none of us said that it was a good performance.
You had a good game. Hear what I'm saying.
Cam did it, Javon did it, I didn't, Dio didn't.
It's a good performance. I said that it's a good result. In the end, that's what I said. It's a good result. We rescued the point. We move on. Fantastic. My worry is we've got Newcastle away, we've got Chelsea away, we've got these games coming up, and we may drop points in those games as well.
Can I say this to you, Sal, real quick?
Yeah.
I get it. Right? You didn't perform well. But then when you don't perform well and then you turn up in the last 5 minutes and say, listen, we're not playing well, but we've got to get something out of this. And you go on and score that type of goal. You remember you missed the Xerxes goal by whiskers. That was like 6 inches away from the goalpost. That's that Xerxes header. That would have gone in. And that was you guys actually.
Yeah, but if I build up
so again, I can understand. Again, let me give you an example of what I mean by this. You played Arsenal. You played us the first game of the season. You were better than us, but we scored the goal.
Yeah, we were.
You see what I'm saying? if you, as bad as we were, my thing in that game was, okay, fine, United look better than us. We scored a goal. Let's just take the points and get away from here. The same thing with you guys today. You look poor eventually, but you came out in the end and you dragged the point out. That in itself is character from your team that you did not have before.
You could have been Chelsea today, by the way. You could have been Chelsea.
Also one of the biggest points for me though is the fact that like the game before, and I said this after.
I heard that more, but I'm gonna let it slide.
After Sesko didn't score that like open that basically him versus the keeper end of the game, and he kind of lackadaisically headed it, and everyone's like, oh, you know, I'm like, there's zero doubt in my mind that if he had to score that goal to go ahead to or whatever, he would have. And I think today he proved he has that in him to be switched on at the end of the game. Like, you do want to know that your striker can save you in these moments, and I was happy to see that he was able to do that, because if, you know, after he kind of lackadaisical the last game, didn't take it serious, kind of like I call it the dribble it out thing in basketball. You're like, yeah, game's over, I'm not going to really care. That hurt Bruno, in my opinion, like for his assist. But today, when it was on, he was switched on, and he made a point to be like, yes, you can bring me on to save games, because I don't actually think Sesko should be starting for the rest of the year. I think that I actually like him coming off the bench. I think this makes sense for his development. I think what we've done in the past with these strikers is we've thrown them in and been like, you need to be the savior, you need to be the guy, and then we watch them fade to black. And I think what we're doing with Sesko is exactly the right move. So anybody's like, oh, he's got to be starting, I actually disagree. I think he should always be coming off the bench until we get to a point where we feel comfortable with his development, where we're not going to crush his confidence. That's just how I feel about him.
Just a quick thing, man. I think if people realize that consistency is a good thing, what you guys are building now is consistency, and that's a good thing. Yes, you can come and crash on the game in itself, and you're not going to play well in every single game. You're not going to. I don't expect my team to play well in every single game, but I expect that they should give 100. And at least from what I watched as a neutral, just watching United players in the last 5 minutes recycling the ball, not on that chaos like you guys used to do, where you would have what's his name, Maguire run into the box, everybody run into the box. No, this
and Bruno Fernandes launching a grenade in the box. And
it looked a lot more controlled. It looked like you guys kept on recycling the ball. When you got it, you sent it back in the box. You got it, you sent it back into the box. You got it. And so for me, I'm like, you know what? I see a difference in how you've played before and how you're playing now. Is it good enough? Maybe no for you. But
Kyle, what do you haven't said a word, Kyle?
No, yeah, I'm just waiting for everyone to talk. I was saying about the Euro was clutch. Like, I think he got them the result. I know Sesko scored the goal, but without him getting those 2-3 blocks at the end, like we could be talking about West Ham being up 2-0, and then that Sesko goal means nothing, right? Like, Euro made crazy clutch moments. Like, for someone so young, I think he needs to get a lot of credit. For me, he's man of the match. I didn't get to tune into the full United game. I was watching Spurs Newcastle. That was the
most irrelevant game on TV.
Not really, because I wanted to see what's going on with Spurs, man. They might get relegated, right? So yeah, that's
why I made the comment.
That'd be massive. So you don't know, right? So I turned on the United game after, and they got a result. I mean, as a football club, you ask any United fan, they expect to go there and get a result. I know you're saying, you know, it's Carrick this and all that, but at the end of the day, it is United. You're going to West Ham. If you're getting results against City, Arsenal, you expect to go there, especially where West Ham are in the table. Yeah, they're fighting.
Yeah, but you're dismissing West Ham's form, Kyle.
No,
I agree with Kyle fully. By the way, I fully agree with you. I bet on it too.
Yeah,
that's how much I agree.
At this time of the season, I don't bet on fighting against relegation teams. They are dying. And if you look at the relegation zone, 3 points for West Ham today drags them closer. Nottingham Forest, West Ham, before you know it, it's Tottenham that they've dragged into the mix. For them, that is like we're at home.
I want to mention a couple of players actually. I was so disappointed in Amad Diallo today. Very disappointed. A lackluster performance. Again, playing like a 19 years old. Like, not passing the ball. And someone asked, there is no overlapping runs. But Diallo made 2 overlapping runs, and the guy refused to pass to him. He refused to pass to him. I think Amad Diallo, it's getting in his head. Amad Diallo need to play to the level that he is. Like, he refused to pass to Diallo a couple of times. He chose, and I say that many times, and I'm criticizing Amad Diallo because the only one on the pitch that passes to faces. And I've been coached before. And the people that have been coached before and played football know that. Amad Diallo was passing to faces instead of shirts. He was looking at who's making the run, who's coming short, to choose to pass or not. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I didn't like that. If I'm his teammate, I'm like, if I make a darting run, you better pass the damn ball, bro. You better pass the ball because I'm making the run. Diallo was ahead of him. A couple of times he would refuse to pass. He would turn and try to play the short passes. I thought he's absolutely, he lackluster today, completely lackluster. And one of the reasons, as Cam said, there's no crosses in the 18. It's too slow. It's too, Sal said it's lethargic in the beginning. I thought it's because of the attack. They're not direct. Cunha's trying, but again, Cunha's Cunha. Amad Diallo on the right side. Like he should have been subbed off, to be honest with you.
Early on, he should have been subbed, yeah. He
should have been subbed off. Ad here, big up Ad. Euro is a Rolls Royce. Again, you're overhyping Euro. Martinez is the best Premier League defender. F West Ham, F the referee. Sesko and Xerxes need to start against a low block team. We go again. I disagree with you, my man. Like, I don't think that Xerxes should start. Maybe Sesko should start. Maybe come on earlier. Lisandro Martinez is class. He's absolutely
can I ask a question? Why is it? Well, anyways, I totally cannot be asking.
See the Martinez
I think it's going to be a dumb question because
Lisandro Martinez is very good. He's very good.
I was thinking Cunha and Sesko starting together. Like, if there's a way you guys can start Cunha and Sesko together, I'm just asking.
Hold on. What did you say, Javon? You think so? You said Lisandro Martinez is what?
I just think he's an average player.
He would be your best defender.
He would be the best.
He'll be your best defender.
So hold on. And that's fine. Him being an average defender does not translate to he'll be just Chelsea's best defender. I'm not disputing that. Our defenders are trash, but that doesn't mean he's better than average in my opinion. I don't see how the two correlate.
I guess that's your opinion, but I think you've forgotten how good he was when he first joined United and his injury.
You guys forgotten how
and he came back.
He was.
And he came back from his injury. And he's been consistent.
What do you mean he's average? He was fantastic today.
He's been good.
On the ball, he's fantastic.
Once he's got his legs back, he's been back to one of the best defenders in the league. It's kind of like this is a poor.
Lisandro Martinez is an average defender.
Just based on what?
You're saying it out loud? No, I'm not.
Wow. Okay.
What is this based on, Javon? What is this based on, Javon? What is this?
I'm trying to get there. Jesus Christ!
Land.
Holy shit!
Let him land.
Jesus! I was going to address when someone on the panel said, today, yeah, I'm saying I watched the game today. It was good today. But in general, I think he's an average defender. Average does not mean he's bad. Average does not mean he's trash, because I have some trash defenders. So I know what trash defenders are like. I just don't think he's elite. No, where I think some of his decision making can be a bit sus. His positioning can be a bit sus. I'm still going to give him a bit more time before I say he's elite level or world class. I just think he's average. Well, I haven't seen any performance from him. I haven't seen any performance from him where I can say, you know what, that is an elite level performance.
Okay, but fair, but you're saying elite world class. Like, I think there's a level in between that average.
So what is that level?
Like, he's a good defender. Like, you're saying he's average. Average is below good. Elite
that's how you guys rank it?
Elite.
No, I think the way he's ranking is like mid, and then he has like average, and then world class. Like, I think that's what he's saying. I think what he's trying to say is he's a good defender, but he's not world class.
I mean, he didn't use
just wording it wrong.
Though. Yeah. Average to me is a very specific word.
I think he's a good defender. Yeah, I think his height lets him down in some situations, but I wouldn't say he's a world.
This is the same guy.
And per 90, his stats are really good, to be honest.
Yeah, and he's pocketed some of the best strikers in the league.
Yeah.
I mean,
per 90, his stats are good. I'm not saying he's
fits every time they play each other. So, like, I mean, I get it. Fine, if you want to say he's good, cool. I think average is what I'm very particular with words. When you say average, that means your baseline average. Like you could take any defender and kind of say he's like, I think Martinez will play for most teams, and I think he's a good defender, and I think he's very close to being elite defender. I think it's hard to say he's elite because our team has been trash for so long, and he's had to deal with, again, everybody forgets what this, like, when we had Onana in net, he was playing, like, we had bad keepers in front of him, and then he's had so many, if you look at all the injuries around his partners, like, De Ligt's hasn't played for how long? He was partnering him for a long time. Maguire was out for so long. He was out for so long. So I do think when he was at his best, when he had the partnership and he was healthy, he was elite. He was showing elite skill. Then he got hurt. Then he fell off. Then the team kind of fell off. And it's like those are the context pieces that need to come into it. But I'm okay with you saying he's a good defender. I just don't think he's average.
Yeah.
Can I
put my statement out, Cam, before you go on about Martinez? Yeah. Guys, we're talking. Big up everyone that joined us from the Football Terrace. People, hit that like button. I think Lisandro Martinez, since he came back from the injury, considering that he's coming back from a back-to-back major injuries, he has been one of the best. I consider him one of the best defenders in the league. There are reasons for it. Number one, his anticipation and reading of the game is very good. His tackling is very good, right? And his ball playing ability is one of the best in the league from the back line. The line breaking passes, the choice of passes that he makes, the composure on the ball is elite, right? What is left? Him winning the aerial duels, right? Because he's shorter than your average defender. That's when people say that he's bad. Against Erling Haaland, in the game against Man City, he pocketed Erling Haaland. He did pocket Erling Haaland, and that's not something that is easy to do. So I'm going to go and say until...
When you say Rose, I know where you're going because you do this all the time.
Pocketed a lot
I think you're rushing.
Breakers.
I'm not saying he can't get to that level. I would just give him more time.
But no one said currently, as it stands, I can't name 5 defenders or 6 defenders that are better individually than Lisandro Martinez this season. He's coming back from injury. Every time I'm watching the guy,
that's a good exercise.
I think he's very good for Man. By the way, even under Amorim in the last games, one of the reasons Man United stopped losing games, guys, they weren't winning,
because he came back.
Was Lisandro. People forget things. Man United didn't lose games under Amorim at the end because they tightened their defense. And the only factor that changed there, listen, they had Maguire, they had De Ligt, they had Mazraoui, they had Euro, they had Heaven. Lisandro Martinez comes back. The leaking of goals stopped. He stopped the losses. I know it itches. I know it itches people about Man United. I know it does. Seriously. And I'm not saying Maguire is elite. If you're watching Lisandro Martinez as a defender, this guy have upped the level of Man United defense over the last 10 games since he came back.
Yeah,
since that's it. It's as simple as that.
I wanted to address Dio's question about, is there a way to get Cunha and Sesko on the pitch at the same time? The way is you would drop Ahmad, because then you would put in Mbeumo at the right wing spot. You'd have Cunha on the left, who's going to just be anywhere anyway. Cunha is hilarious. When you put Cunha on the pitch, he doesn't have a position. He's very much like Bruno Botta. He's everywhere. He's like, when he started on the left in the other game where he came and he scored the goal from the right, and I remember being like, how did you even fucking get there? But that's how you would do it. You would drop Ahmed. You'd put Mbeumo on the right wing because that's his natural position. You put Sesko.
Would you consider having Sesko up front, Mbeumo on the left, Ahmad on the right, and then Cunha right behind Sesko, and then you play Bruno and Maino.
Fernandez drops into the midfield.
We've done this whole Fernandez in the midfield thing.
I'm just
So the thing is, we've done it.
The reason I'm asking is because in the summer, Mo would tell you, I was rating I rate Mbeumo, I rate Cunha. Sesko wasn't my choice. If I wanted a striker at Arsenal, and Gyokeres it was Isak. I knew we're not going to get him, but I'm just saying, like, after seeing, you guys sign Sesko as well, I was like, you know what, this team, if you find a way to put those guys on
the second best attack in the league, without a shadow for me. Me and Dio agree on this. The second best attack in the league.
There's no more
because of one game is Man United, and people can hate
it. People can like drop Bruno. I didn't say drop Bruno.
I wouldn't. No, I'm saying I wouldn't.
Mo, who do you have as one then?
I'm just not
City. You have Haaland.
We've already done the experiment where, like, it's not the worst, but I mean, some maybe you disagree with me. I think Bruno, like, to get the best out of Bruno for me, and I'm going to say it out loud, I think Bruno is the best number 10 in the world. And at the end of the day, when you drop him out of that position, you no longer get that from him. And I think you have to get the best out of your best player.
Amran did in the beginning of the season, though. He had Bruno as like that.
It was terrible.
And it wasn't working.
Bruno's a number.
Do you think the missing Dorgu has affected Man United, because he's one of them guys who can get the crosses in as well?
You know what's crazy? I would have never thought, and it's so wild because I wasn't one of the people who hated on Dorgu. I wasn't one of the people. I truly believe the kid had time. The way we decided, because he does have a decent cross on him, the way we decided to play him and get the width, because when you put Cunha there, you lose that, because that's not what he does. He cuts in, crowds the middle. That's fine. I think getting a Dorgu or Dorgu-like player, like a left winger who's going to hug that touchline and whip crosses in, will make our.
He's not that good.
Scarier.
He's not that good.
No, Dorgu's not. That's what I'm saying. You go and
He's
get.
not.
Imagine we went and got Semenyo.
People genuinely mistake him because Dorgu had the shot against Arsenal and a couple of good games. People think that Dorgu is an elite winger. He's a young player, doesn't have experience. Man United had spaces in that game. Man United need a real left winger.
I know, but what Dorgu gives, because again, of course they need a left winger.
His crosses are not that good.
But more, what we're saying is, yes, they need a better left winger, but this is what they have. Dorgu brings energy. That's the one thing I can tell you. Again, against low blocks, he may not be the best guy at crossing the ball and everything, but he disturbs people. Dorgu is
he doesn't. Not to that. No.
I'm not saying he may have worked today, but I'm saying sometimes as a manager, you look at the game and you say to yourself, you know what? What's the worst that will happen? I have 5 minutes more. I'm going to throw this guy in there and tell him, just go Tasmanian Devil, go Fulham. Bro, just go in there, do the running that you do, bother these people, win a free kick on the edge of the box, give Bruno a chance to whip that ball into
guys,
the
he's a left. Well, I agree with this. He's a left back. Can we just
he's a
left?
Yeah, he's a left back, but he's been playing left wing for them.
Yeah, he's been playing left wing because they had spaces in these games. Today, there was no spaces for him.
He's been.
They need a Semenyo, guys. They need a Semenyo. They need a touchline winger to play on the left.
We agree that they need a Semenyo, but they don't have
someone like that guy.
No, but that should be a focus.
In today's game, as Carrick, I'm saying, if you had Dorgu available to you, how would you have used him? I'm not saying that they don't need a better left winger. That's it. If, but, and maybe they don't have that now. But what they have today, the question is, how would, for me, how should your manager, if Dorgu was available, do you think that bringing that energy in the last 5 minutes, right, causing that havoc that he likes to cause, he may not have the final piece of the crossing the ball in, but the guy is a problem. I don't like seeing him on the pitch.
To win a game like today, you throw caution to the wind. You bring your strikers on earlier. You pepper crosses. And I don't think you need a specific Dorgu. I think we had more than enough talent, and I think the manager got that part wrong. And Sal said earlier, what's upsetting to all United fans, I get why they're upset, is because you look at the game, and I stand by this, is yes, we should you don't go to West Ham and come out and say good point without seeing the game first, right? You wouldn't before the game say a draw is a good point. You have to watch the game and then make that assessment based on context, which is how was the game going and all that. That's why I'm able to say, yeah, it was a good point because of context. If you had asked me before the game, Mo, would I be happy with the draw? I would have been like, fuck no, of course not. And
you would have asked what went wrong.
I would have asked why we ended, right? I need the context of the game. So
Cam is spot on.
But I'm not. But so that's why it's you have to, when we evaluate these games, we cannot start by saying, oh, well, 100% you would have never taken a point, because things change as the game goes on. They tightened up, they blocked us out, they did what they did. And the upsetness from United fans, I think, coming from the Carrick side of it, was Carrick, you saw as the game was going on, we weren't breaking this shit down. So what do? That's when you hear it from Fergie, he's a disciple of him, throw caution to the wind. Just go attack and see what happens.
I'm gonna give you a
Newcastle did to us. Remember when Newcastle fucking just pinned us back and hit us with 17 million? They didn't win the game, but they hit us with 50 crosses in 20 minutes. And
I'm gonna tell you a stat cam to back you. I'm gonna tell you a stat cam to back you. Man United put 20 crosses today. Xerxes almost scored. Sesko scored. Casemiro scored. There was another one. 4 of them could easily been goals.
Bomb.
4 of them. Imagine if Man United did this over the 90 minutes with 2 strikers. I have a problem with Cunha, to be honest with you, which is Cunha. When he's not in the game, Man United playing with 10.
What about Mbeumo playing up front? Do you agree with Mbeumo playing up front as a false number 9 kind of thing? Or do you think Sesko needs to start and Mbeumo on the right, drop Ahmad to the bench for a little while?
So I would only do that if you're So the only reason I would do that, I wouldn't, because it puts pressure on Sesko that I don't think he needs. I stand by I like what we're doing. But I heard you saying if Ahmad keeps having bad games, I believe in merit. So you're Ahmad, you're not playing well. He
needs GA.
We have a right winger. We don't need you to start, bro.
One of the things one of the things that me and
That's when I would
Ahmed,
do it.
me and Ahmed disagree on a lot of stuff. One of the things that matter is that you can have good performances. You can have a great first touch. You can have a great step over and a dribble. But at the end, what matters is effectiveness. You need to make a big chance. You need to have an assist. You need to have a goal. As a winger, you cannot just be, I'm having good performances. I'm passing the ball around. I have a good touch. Yeah, I look good on the eye. That's not how you affect. That's how you win games. You don't win games by this. You win games by being effective, by putting in the accurate crosses, by doing stuff that are like it will get you something on the board. The stats matter for the winger. And Amad Diallo lately has been putting the good first touch. Like good first touch, good couple of passes. Bro, you need output because Doku dribbles past every single defender in the world now. But he doesn't have output.
No, Mo, he's his output has gone up this season, but I know you mean.
Yes, which is why people praised him. But before, Doku used to dribble, right?
Different. Yeah. That's the thing we always said is with Doku is he gives you those performances, but as soon as he doesn't give you that performance, that's where players that don't give you GA, that's where the problem happens. Where a player where Semenyo, he might not do something for 70 minutes, 80 minutes, but he might leave that game with a goal and an assist. That's the difference between the
Amad
two.
Diallo
right?
today was absolutely not great, to be honest with you. Let me do the super chat. Hey, they're saying Disasi was Chelsea's best defender. Maresca. Come on, he wasn't their best defender. He's just average. Disasi is an average defender. Mo, talk to me about title challengers, Chelsea. Well, Chelsea bottled it today. We're going to talk about them in a second. Bottled it today, 100%.
But we got to talk about that top five after.
When De Ligt come back, clean sheets era starts, maybe. I'm not sure. De Ligt has been away for a while, though.
He's not going to play consistent. Like, they're going to work him back slowly.
Yeah. It's not going to be. It's not plug and play. Sesko clears Gyokeres. It's not even a contest.
That's not fair. Like, listen, Sesko's 4 or 5 years younger, so he has the potential, but you can't.
6
years. That's a lot of years. So he has the potential to be better. Everybody will say that. But Gyokeres is on what, 9-10 goals now or something?
I think it's 9.
Couple coming off the bench, like he's banging.
5 years. You're right.
The thing that people move the goalposts with Gyokeres on is like Arsenal bought a striker to score goals. Who cares how it fucking looks? He's scoring goals now, and now people are still like, "Oh, well, it's ugly." I don't care. The one reason they bought him was score goals. Like that's it. It wasn't to be pretty. It wasn't to hold up the play. It was none of that because you have Havertz, you have Jesus, you have the guys to do that. Score goals. So. At the end of the season,
it's funny. Like
has more goals, then sure, you'll say he's a better striker.
Again, he's our highest goal scorer in all tournament, in all competitions.
I'm not
like
all
that noise people are making. I'm just like, look, again, they will make noise. I don't care. Like people like super chats like this. I think it's just rage bait. AD likes to rage bait people, and I don't fall for stuff like this.
I don't do that.
Gyokeres is doing what we bought him to do, which is put the ball in the back of the net now, and it's working for him. So good for him.
I don't know who the black bale is.
Now here's the thing. I do believe the black bale and Leao can play left.
I don't know who the black bale is, and Leao can play left winger. I don't know.
I think he means Dargu because of the.
That's Dargu, yeah, because Bale started as a left back.
Yeah. So I think with Sesko, I do think he'll end up being the better player. I think just based on how much time he's got.
Definitely. That's
better.
You know, he's younger. He's going to get like
he's bigger. He's faster. Like
what's his name? Gyokeres is 27, right? He's already there. By next season, Gyokeres is 28. Before you know it, he's already at that age where we need to start looking at somebody else.
Yeah.
But for me, the most important thing is like at this stage, even though he's
figuring out himself. That finish, Sesko. Gyokeres can never.
Yeah, of course.
Gyokeres can never.
Gyokeres doesn't score those type of goals. Gyokeres is the type of striker that needs space in between to run into, and he'll bully whoever he needs to bully and put the ball in the back of the net. Gyokeres is not the same type of striker like Haaland is. The style of Haaland, like again, as good as what's his name is right now, Igor Thiago. I don't see him scoring the type of goal that Sesko.
100%.
Yeah, that was a finesse. That was a finesse ball. Like Sesko literally just let the ball softly cushioned it on the outside of his boot and curved the ball back in. Sorry, my bad. And not many players have that technicality. So to say Sesko or to say Gyokeres can never, like, of course, that's
can
how many players can do that? Yeah. How many strikers?
I want to move on now from United. I want to move on. Go ahead, Cam.
The daughter, and I just say this: United will finish top 5. I have no issues with that,
and that's the most important thing.
We'll finish top 5.
Big up, Cam.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Chelsea. Javon, are you here? Or you still driving home?
Yes, sir. I'm
Talk to
still
me
driving,
about.
but
Talk to me. Talk to me.
um, brilliant first half. Not even the first half. Brilliant performance, terrible defending. So let's start from the first time. Leeds got hopelessly outplayed. The link-up play between Cole Palmer and João Pedro was stuff of dreams. Link-up play between Cole Palmer, João Pedro, Esteval, even Enzo getting into the mix. Brilliant play. Andre Santos is a revelation to sit beside Caicedo and step up at times in midfield. We were cruising. The first goal, brilliant first goal. We could have had a couple more goals if the final pass was better, if the final touch was better. But, we're going 1-0 at halftime, feeling confident, not a care in the world. Come out second half resumes as the first half started. Played well, the link-up plays going goal. Cole Palmer gets a penalty. Well, João Pedro wins the penalty, similar to the penalty he won last game, where the player is heading, where he won the ball, cuts across the player, heading to the byline, and for some stupid reason, these players want to push him in the back with both hands. Okay, that was the funniest penalty I've ever seen given at the professional level.
Yeah.
Like, it's a blatant penalty. Right? Cole Palmer steps up, scored a goal. 2-0, we're cruising. I think it's game over. But Chelsea does what Chelsea does best. And they like to give me heart attacks and a mini stroke. But Rosenior, I don't know why, decides to take off João Pedro, and he decides to take off Esteban and put on, not Hato, takes off Cucurella, puts on João Pedro, and he decides to put on Pedro Neto and take off Esteban.
Because Esteban was not playing well. He wasn't playing well.
No. And that's fine. And that's fine. I'm not going to blame Pedro Neto for anything that happened, apart from his attacking impotence. But I'll get onto that when I get to that stage. But the minute Pedro Neto steps onto that field, it all goes to shit. Pardon my French, but it all goes very poorly. The first goal comes from a stupid. The first goal we continue comes from a stupid tackle from Caicedo, which is very disappointing given his stature in the team and given where he's at or how he's seen in world football these days. So he shouldn't have made that decision. And then the second one comes from atrocious defending led by Josh Atempang, followed by Chalaba, I think was around there with him at the back. And yeah, Chelsea took their eye off the ball. They became very lackadaisical for like 5-10 minutes. And then Leeds took advantage of those lackadaisical moments. We tried to win the game, we tried to press, we tried to play the ball, we tried to progress the ball forward, but we could not find that goal. And Cole Palmer missed a sitter. Cole Palmer missed it. You know how difficult it is to miss that goal?
Yeah, it's harder to miss than score. Yeah.
If he had just stood there, would have bounced off his body into the net. We missed that goal and Leeds come back drawing 2-2. No, from my perspective, it's 2 points dropped. I honestly, this hit me like a whirlwind, because if you genuinely watch the game, Leeds had nothing in this. In the first half, Leeds had a goal expectations of, I think, 0.01 or something like that. Extremely low. They were being battered. They were being bullied. The link-up play. This was the stuff of dreams. This is how everyone would want their team to play. Free-flowing, fluid attacking football. We're defending well. And then 2 lapse moments, 2 idiot.
I think this game goes on Caicedo.
Lost us 2 points and we finished below Manchester United.
I believe, Javon, I praised Caicedo many times. I think this game is on Caicedo. That is a needless tackle.
Yes.
There was someone covering. You didn't need to do that tackle. There is no business in going into that tackle being rash like this. You let Leeds back into the game. Chelsea were cruising in the game, as you said. That Rosenior tactics by having Cole Palmer in the pocket, that one pass from Andre Santos or Enzo Fernandez to Cole Palmer that opened up the defense is fantastic by Liam Rosenior. I'm going to say that, to be honest with you, since that red card of Arsenal, Caicedo has had an average season. This is why when we say consistency and having the stability and being consistent in performance is way more important than your 10 out of 10 performance every now and then. Which is why we praise players like Zubamendi, which is why we praise players that are so consistent in the game. You don't need to be amazing every single game. You just need to be consistent. You just need to be good. Today, it wasn't Caicedo. It wasn't Caicedo today. He allowed Caicedo today allowed Leeds back into the game.
Agree.
He allowed them, to be honest, back in the game. And they were so focused in the attack. It's unacceptable from your best players. To be honest with you, if your best players, like a Caicedo, is given that penalty and Cole Palmer is off the line, what have you left for the Hatos, for the Achimpongs, for the Netos? If your best players are not performing, these are the guys that should build the manager out, not the other way around. Caicedo,
and I
it's
agree.
too rash.
I agree. I was speaking to another Chelsea fan after the game, and that's the first point, a topic that I brought up. He needs to know when to make certain type of tackles. He could have done the same thing and not tackle the guy to defend. Just put yourself there. Give the guy something to think about when he's shooting. If you've ever played football and you're in that type of area and there's someone there, you're more rash to take the shot more than to be under control when you're taking the shot, because you have to account for the guy that's putting you under pressure. Plus, like Mo said, there was a covering defender. There was no need to make that tackle, right?
He's too rash. I'm telling you, Javon. He's too rash. He has done this plenty of times. I don't know why he feels the need to make these tackles. Like, there's no need for you to make these tackles. There's nothing urgency. It's not the last ditch tackle. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I can give a bit more sympathy towards Josh, because even though if you go back and look at that defending scenario, that was just horrendous. Someone should have just booted the ball. But it all started from the Caicedo mistake. And dare I say, he hasn't been playing to his best level over the past 5 games. He's been in and out of the team lately because of yellow cards. So it's not been the best season from him so far. But yeah, it's honestly, I'm still processing. It's a whirlwind.
Are you worried about top 5? Are you worried about top 5?
No. I think it will be between Chelsea and United going into the latter seasons. This season historically we have done better against the top team. The only thing I would say that was under Maresca. I still have to see what Rosenior is going to bring against the top teams. But yeah,
you're not worried about Liverpool. You're not worried about Liverpool. Liverpool are
5 points.
5 points behind them.
They're 5 points behind. So
I don't think they're gonna win tomorrow anyway.
Liverpool can make a late run, but I have to just focus on who's above me. And United is only a point above me. Thank God they didn't win today, because I would be livid. Yeah, and then we'll just take this into the next game week in the Premier League. Honestly, apart from those two mistakes and that 5-minute spell where we were under the cosh, there's not much to harp on the boys about apart from Pedro Neto.
Palmer, how would you not mention Palmer?
We spoke about it. Palmer missed a sitter, but then he also scored the penalty, and he was playing well.
Yeah, he was playing all right. He made some wrong decisions, to be honest with you.
He did, and I said this in my spiel. If some of the passing was better or a bit more precise in the first half, would have been up 2-0, 3-0, even from João Pedro. But with the glaring mistakes that were made in the game, it's kind of hard to look at the attacking players, because at the end of the day, they did put us.
They created 4xG. To be honest, 4xG is a lot. You should be winning this game like 3-4-0 at least.
Exactly.
4xG is crazy. It's crazy.
Exactly. So you kind of have to more focus is on the defense and the midfielder in Caicedo who made the mistake. Pedro Neto, I don't know what happened to this guy. I don't know. The last kick of the game, you get an in-swinging cross. What kind of cross that? What kind of cross is that for the last kick of the game to potentially win us a point? This man basically kicked the ball out for a throw-in. Make it make sense. I needed a better performance from Enzo Fernandez. Go ahead.
Pedro Neto is the guy that everybody's now crashing on. You guys should chill out, man. The truth is,
no. We've been crashing it on him.
The truth is, like, this Rosenior has started well, but again, it's not enough enough games for me to be like, all right, this is who Rosenior is and who Chelsea is going to be. I think you guys will struggle. I genuinely think you struggle when the Champions League round comes back and you have to play 2 games consistently a week more. Today, the Chelsea team, you crashed out in 6 minutes, like 2 goals in 6 minutes. It took all of 6 minutes to erase everything, your dominance that you had for 67 minutes, and that in itself is a problem.
It is a problem, and it's a problem on quality. Because you can't necessarily put it on Rosenior.
No, I'm not going to put it on Rosenior. I'm just saying like something. That's why I said I can't put it on him, because I know that he's still forming his team. He's still the guy he's still new. Let's be honest about it. I know how people want to talk about Chelsea. I say Chelsea has to do this, but the guy is still the new manager. I give him the end of the season to be able to judge the work that he has done. Like, let's see what he does between now and the end of the season. But, I think he's done a good job so far. Expect games like this where you're going to have issues. These are the things that he needs to work on as a manager, how to motivate the team to not crash out in 6 minutes. These are the, because that for me was just a lapse, just mentality lapse, 6 minutes, boom, they equalized. And then you want to switch it back on and then try to get 3-2. It's not going to work all the time that way. You have to be able to have a 2-0 lead and, be able to coach your team, which I think he will get to eventually, to keep that 2-0 lead. And even if you concede one, keep your 2-1.
I'm worried for Chelsea, to be honest with you. To be honest with you,
I think
I am worried. I'm worried. I said that many times. I'm worried for Chelsea because the cycle is restarting with Liam Rosenior. I've heard the same talk when they sacked every manager and get the new manager. And some of these players have enough experience there to actually should be able to go and take the next step. But because the board, and I don't want to talk about the board, because the board took a new manager that is inexperienced, we're having the same exact talk, guys. We've had the same talk when Maresca was hired.
We're going to happen.
It's the same exact talk.
We're going to keep on having the same talk.
It's the same. It's the same thing. Not Pochettino. It was Potter. Pochettino. Maresca. Now, and it's the same. He's building. We have to wait for him. We have to wait for this.
Next
year is 10 years since Chelsea won the league.
But Mo, hear me
10
out.
years.
As a rival fan, which I don't want to speak to the fact that I don't like Chelsea. I just want to talk about football. As a fan of football, just looking at the manager, what do you want me to say to a manager that has just come to a team? I'm not going to clash on the manager.
This is why. Did I mention Rosenior once? Did I mention Rosenior once?
I didn't say you did.
I didn't mention Rosenior once.
I didn't say you did mention Rosenior. I didn't. I'm not accused. I'm simply saying I'm looking at it from a footballing perspective and saying this manager is going to need time. Whatever it is that you want to say, that's what it is. He's going to need time. There's no magic in the world.
Yeah, I mean, we have been saying this for 3 years. We have been saying this for 3 years.
But
we need time.
But this is why, with your point.
Sorry, Javon, sorry, man. Then this is why we then need to go back and look at the ownership who keeps changing manager year in, year out. Because now that is where the problem is. Because you bring a new manager and you ask my opinion, I'm going to be like, he needs time. I need to see more of what he can do. Then you fire him and bring another guy. Now, what do you think about the new manager, Rosenior 2.0? Oh, I think I need to see 10, 15 games for me to judge him. By 15 games, you fired him. Then you bring another guy and you ask my opinion again. So now, where's the source of that problem? Your ownership. We then need to be able to speak about your ownership and what model they're trying to run. It's very clear.
I don't want to speak about the ownership. It becomes boring. It becomes boring speaking about the ownership.
The only place you can look to after that, if you're going to ignore the manager, and if you're going to ignore the board, which in the Chelsea fan base, we've rinsed the board from top to bottom, right? The only thing you can look at next is the players and some of the senior players, which is why when I speak about Pedro Neto, people think I'm following the narrative of he's been on bad form. No, I'm highly critical of Pedro Neto because if you look at the factual information, he's a more senior winger and he's had Premier League experience at Wolves. When this guy was up for sale, all of the top clubs would have wanted to take a punt on him. Right? So for him to come and have these type of torrid performances when we are looking for him to cause something to change the game because he's supposed to be your senior winger and supposed to come in and have a positive influence and to keep on turning out poor performances, what am I meant to do? It's the same thing like when Sterling came to the club. It's the same thing like when Sterling came to the club and Sterling was not doing what he was supposed to do. I cannot absorb that. He's not a young player. He's not new to the league. There's no excuses for these poor performances.
I hear you, Javon. I agree with you. There's no excuses for it, which is why I said I need to see more from Rosenior. Will Rosenior start benching him more and playing somebody else? I want to see how your manager handles all of this. These things that you're complaining about the individual performances of players, how is the manager going to handle it going forward? Because he's in charge. So my thing is, fair enough. We can pick players and say these players are not good. Oh, they're not performing. Oh, you're a senior player. You're not leading by example. Or you know what? You're a player with a lot of talent, but the last 3 games you've been. What is the manager doing? How is he, Rosenior? Which is where I said I need more time to see how he works with the team. I need more time to see how he makes his subs, his man management, even his punishments for players who are senior players who literally, for example, not trying to say like when Aubameyang started acting crazy and coming late to training, we saw what Mikel Arteta did to him. Put him on punishment, train alone, do your thing. Eventually kicked him out the club. So I'm not saying kick Neto out the club, but I'm saying these
Neto works really hard.
Yeah, I'm saying this
The
signs
work
for me
rate is not good enough for that.
the signs for me show what your manager, and I need more games to be able to more time for your manager to be able to judge the manager. Now on the pitch, it is those type of situations where you lose your concentration for 6 minutes and lose the game that I can crash on the players because you have players on that pitch good enough to not lose concentration for 6 minutes. Good enough.
At the very least, stay focused and stay locked in and wrap up the game.
That's what I'm saying. So at the very least, stay focused as players. You know, again, we've seen this with other teams. It takes time for it to build. Hence why I'm not crashing on him. And I feel bad for Chelsea as a club because your ownership.
Feel bad for the fans.
Yeah, the fans, because the ownership is not giving you consistency on the management level. This constant change and rotation of managers will not allow you to do anything solid.
I want to bring Salah. Wallah, I feel crazy feeling that I have more hope for Man United in the coming near future than Chelsea. I actually think this is a crazy. If you asked me this, when Maresca was here at the end of last season, I would have told you that's a crazy statement. It's a crazy statement. But I have a feeling that statement is not crazy anymore. It's not. I feel like Man United in the near future, will have more bright near future than Chelsea. For some whatever reason, I have this feeling.
I agree with Mo. That's why I said we may have finished second this season, second or third. I think we're in a good way at the moment. I know I get frustrated. Obviously, I was frustrated today because Chelsea didn't win and we could have moved away from them completely. But I think our future is bright. I do. I think we got a good future. We got some good players. We need a couple more here and there, and I think we'll be challenging soon enough. In my opinion, I think Mo's absolutely spot on. I think we will.
Yeah, I mean, your recruitment. United. I'll say this. United. Okay, go on.
Go ahead, Javon.
The difference between us and United actually went out last month and signed Premier League experienced players that are playing at a good quality, that have good quality and playing at a substantial level, right? They went out and bought. They didn't buy potential. They bought now that could get better. That's the difference. With us, we'll always purchase potential. We'll always look for the wonderkin, and that comes from Iqbali and what the board are choosing to do. He tells these 2 sporting directors to go out and find the young best talents. They're not even the best young talents. They're just young talents. At this point, I keep saying it's player trafficking. People think it's a joke, but it's the truth. That the high turn off players that we buy that are 18, 19 years old with a limited amount of senior game time, that brings nothing to the team. That's not a needle mover. And the needle movers you buy, somehow they either stop playing well when they get here, or they just don't fit the system or whatever the manager is trying to do. So at this point, if the structure doesn't change, Manchester United will have a better future. Manchester United will win.
Listen, it's sorry, Dio, but yeah, my man, more bullshit opinion like always. Let United play 2 games a week and let's see. Even the Chelsea fan agree with me. It's your board who made that decision. It's not me. It's not. I don't control your club. I didn't sign Garnacho and Gittins, man.
Yeah, I think one of the major issues.
Sometimes it's good to play more than 1 game a week.
Yeah,
sometimes.
But I need to say this. I think the Chelsea fans need to really, really look at their ownership. Again, all these things that you have said, you're very correct, Javon. United look like they have a better recruitment because they're recruiting players that have experience, and those players are ready to play now. Because of your structure, your salary cap, your bonus system, you're not able to attract those type of players. Mbeumo is actually earning the same amount of money that is your salary cap at Chelsea. Why didn't you go for him? Mbeumo is earning 150,000 at United. He's not.
He's not
spending-
under. He's not under the age of 22. That's why.
Exactly. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
because
what I'm saying?
they won't sign him because he has no resale value.
That's my point.
Yeah,
my
that's
point
the-
is, my point is that structure that has been designed by the management, which is we want players that we can actually grow and resell. They've turned it into
Yeah.
a farm, and because they've
That's
turned it into
basically
a farm, it's going to be hard for you to attract the type of talent that you're talking about to actually ever come and play for you because there's no resale value. The ownership don't want them, and they themselves are like, look, why would I go play for a club that wants to cap me? Victor Osimhen, you guys were there were
Well, they
rumors that you
should-
were in for him.
should.
He wasn't going to come to Chelsea for 150 a week. And then if I get you to Champions League, you give me bonuses. It's nonsense. You know, if you really
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to compete,
I wanna move on from
You
this
have to change
conversation.
it.
Just the last part of the show, just for 5-10 minutes. I want to speak about the title race and because I wouldn't get a chance tomorrow. Man City pushing Arsenal tomorrow if they win against Fulham. Do you think there is pressure on Arsenal, Kyle, tomorrow if you win against Fulham? Do you think that piles up the pressure on Arsenal that go and play Brentford away from home?
BTEC Arena. Yeah, I think for sure. I looked at Arsenal's next 3 games. They're all away. So they got some tough fixtures. City haven't lost a game against Fulham since 2000 and I think it was 2011 was a draw. They've actually beat Fulham every single time since they've played. So I'm hoping there's a result there. The result at Anfield was huge. I wish they could have got a result against Spurs because then it would have been 4 points. But Brentford, they're on some decent form right now too. They put 3 past Newcastle. So they're not a team that you can just go there and get a clean sheet. I think they're definitely going to be some pressure there on Arsenal. They then play midweek against Wolves, which you've seen at the Emirates. At that point when Arsenal were playing, they weren't in their best form. I think they picked up form quite a bit these past few weeks. It looks like they're scoring a lot more goals. But if they do drop points, then obviously I think the title race is on. For me, obviously as a City fan, my biggest thing is just have them in touching distance. 3-6 points. And I said it. I think that game at the Etihad is going to be probably the game of the season. Everything is going to come down to that one game.
Dai, what do you think about that, Dai? You think there's pressure on Arsenal?
I don't see any pressure, to be honest. And my reasons for not seeing pressure is because two weekends ago it was 6 points. Last weekend it was 6 points. This weekend is still 6 points. It's like all we need to do is match City, and that's what I've been telling everybody. Like the way we are right now, when City plays before us, all we need to do is match them. So if City win their game, just go on and win your game, and you know how to win by 1-0. So just go on and do that. Yeah.
If you keep winning, you win the league, right? That's basically
not even just to keep winning. Like if we keep matching you with 6 points gap difference up until we get to the game in April, it will still be at the worst case scenario a 3-point gap. And if we match you with a 3-point gap to the end of the season, because there's only 5 games left, it's still a done league. So for me, it's about keeping cool heads, taking it game by game. I don't really feel any pressure, and the reason I don't feel pressure again is because I know that this Arsenal team, every time we've lost a game, we've played 35 games in all competitions and lost 3 games only. I think people don't realize that we have barely lost games this season. They like to harp on the games that we didn't perform too well, fair enough. But overall, we've performed better in multiple other games than we have done badly. And when I look at City, even when you win games, like the game you won against Liverpool, you weren't in control of that game in the second half. You didn't look like the team. For me, that still goes with the trend of the last 5 games where you guys have switched off in the second half and dropped points to teams. So again, against Liverpool, the penalty was a good call. You got that penalty, but imagine you didn't get that penalty. You had switched off in the second half as well. And Liverpool had taken control of that second half, and that would have been a drop points as well. But you went on to win it. So because I know that you are not yet there consistent, and I'm not saying that you're not going to get consistent, but there's 13 more games to the end of the season. You'll need multiple game runs to be able to blend in the guys that have come in, Maguire and Semenyo. They're looking good. They're scoring, not a problem. But you need to be consistent and solid enough. I think Arsenal has more consistency in games. Like even when we lose a game, we go on to win. I think the first game we lost this season was to what was our first loss again, actually?
Villa. Sorry, Liverpool.
After the Liverpool game, we went 18 unbeaten in all competitions. And then we lost to Villa. Then we went 12 unbeaten in all competitions. So this Arsenal team has showed me that. And then after United now we're on 5, I think in all comps, not dropping points again. So for me, it's the consistency of the team. And that consistency is where I see that City is lacking. I'm not saying City is not good enough to actually pick up form. Don't get me wrong, but I've not seen
Yeah.
enough consistency for me to be
Yeah, it's
panicking.
not like
If this was
it's not
City
like-
of 2 seasons ago, I'd be shitting bricks right now, telling you categorically that anything can happen. But at this point, I have to see more of the consistency, you know, and
Yeah.
and
I
maybe
agree.
maybe
I
if in
agree
the
with
next
you.
4 or 5 games I see City win back to back, then I'm like, all right, they've picked up consistency. Now it's game on. Now it's game
Yeah.
on when we meet up in April.
Someone is talking sense because there's a lot of Meltdown.
But
We're
between
gonna-
now and April when we meet up,
Sal, do you want to go to sleep?
it's a
No,
match.
no, I'm good.
Yeah, between now and April when we meet with City, my thing is just Arsenal, just match City. If they win, you win. If they draw, you
that's-
win. You just
it goes
match
to
them.
If it
Just-
goes to
And
the
now, by the
outside-
way, people are giving that game to City as it's a win. If Arsenal go there, and I said that yesterday and people didn't like it, if Arsenal go there, they can draw the game if they are ahead in the title race.
yeah,
Like, why are people dismissing the idea that Arsenal are one of the best defensive teams in the world, that they can draw the game? People are literally giving the win to City without even thinking.
They forgot that when City came to the Emirates, that's Pep Guardiola's lowest ball possession in 10 years that he has been at Man City, 32%. Right after Erling Haaland scored that goal, City just parked the bus.
yeah, they
at
had a
the
couple
Emirates.
chances that game too, though, to put it
Yeah,
away.
but
I
I'm
think
saying,
if-
but you played like we were.
Yeah.
You played us like
it
we were-
almost worked out though. You almost went left.
It
there
almost
with,
worked out, but
with-
again, this
yeah.
is why I said consistency even in the game. There's something you'll notice with Arsenal. Arsenal does the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again in a game. I know our fans don't like it right now, but I've seen this
Guys,
team play beautiful football.
It's 2026, Dio. The
Yeah.
game will be played on April 2026. The last time City won against Arsenal home or away was April 2023, guys. Yet, and that's what I mean. Like, people, I don't take the history over
Yeah,
the
but
last.
Mo, when was the last time?
But let me just say something. The last time City won against Arsenal was 2023, and over the last 3 years, City were a much better team than the City of this season.
Yeah.
Does
But
that
then-
make sense?
but
And
then when we-
Arsenal are stronger this season than the last 3 years. Does that make
the
sense?
last time we beat Liverpool at Anfield, we were a better team, and we won. We did the double on them this year. So anything can happen in a game of football.
I don't
I think
analyze football with anything can happen. Anything. Arsenal can win.
But like you could look at it.
Brentford.
Yeah, for me,
Fulham can win against City.
hey, let's see what happens. But I
Exactly
think-
that, Kyle. Like, analysis of football is not anything can happen. Do we see City beating Arsenal? Yeah, it's a possibility.
I backed them too.
But it's not like City are acting like this game. They are playing Burnley at home. This is Arsenal, one of the strongest teams.
Let me say this,
defensively.
Mo, let me say this right, and I'm not even saying this from a place of this thing. Let's just assume everything works out for both teams. If City go 13 unbeaten, they win all 13 games, right? And Arsenal win 11 games and draw 2 games, we still win the league. Like, if City goes 13 games from now to the end of the league and win everything,
Aziz, I wanna Dayo. So,
Yeah, and
Aziz, you're a City fan. Go ahead, Dayo. But go ahead, Dayo.
No, I'm just saying, like, even at that. So for me, this is one of the reasons why I'm a lot more.
Where is that
relaxed.
confidence? What I don't understand. This is a City fan. Where is that confidence coming from? City, you haven't been in a run yet. You won 2 games this season. One of them against Wolves. One of them against Liverpool. Fair enough. Your form has not picked up massively, as you say, yet. I'm not sure if you're going on a run or not. Arsenal are strong. Where is that confidence coming from that you're slapping Arsenal? Like, is that coming from, did you beat Arsenal last season? Did you beat Arsenal season before? Like, where is that confidence coming from? Like, is it coming?
It's him being a
Is it,
fan.
or
and it's
or
fair
is it
enough.
only banter, though?
It is banter now. Look, again, here's the thing, and I understand why people just banter us now. We haven't won anything yet, so they're never going to actually have a footballing conversation with us now because we have. And fair enough, if that's how people want to take it, fair enough, take it that way. It's the same way I can turn around and say, let me banter City because they haven't been winning lately. Like, that's nonsense. I have to stay and address the football itself. The football itself, for me, we can go to the Etihad where we have actually struggled for years, and in the last couple of years, show that we can come there to play. I mean, you guys, last season, you played 10-man Arsenal, if I'm not mistaken, and you got a draw at the Etihad.
For me, I think
And
if you
City
guys are
fans
gonna-
celebrated it like it was a victory. And I smiled and laughed, and I said, this is the same Etihad that every time we went here back in the day, I panicked. But now I can come here with 10 men and pepper your post for the last 8 minutes.
The only problem is if Arteta comes for playing for a draw is
Pick up
when you
Javon.
then see, because you guys, even Arteta and Arsenal, you have to go there looking for a win. Because if he goes there,
we don't have to. Let me tell you why. It's like
because if you go looking for a draw, you guys completely have a different completely game.
We may not have to come. If by the time we're playing you at the Etihad, it's a 9-point difference or it's 8 points.
Yes, it depends what it is when we get to
it depends on what it is. So
yeah,
we've put ourselves in a good position, which is a thing that I like. I know 22-23 people say we had 8 points ahead and we bottled it, but people don't put context around it. City had 2 games in hand by game week 30 in 22-23. By game week 35, where there were 3 more games to play, City had a game in hand, which means literally City had 6 points in the pocket if they win those 2 games. And City of that year, well, we know what they were doing. By January, Arsenal and City both had 50 points each. It wasn't like we were better than you that season. Like, oh, no, we were 50-50 by January. Yeah. So again, because you guys had to go to some competition, your games were moved and you had games in hand. So for me,
the World Cup.
Yeah, so if you add those 6 points to the 8, subtract it from the 8 points, literally we were 2 points ahead of you. That is the reality of what 22-23 was. The difference is this season we have played the same number of games and we're 6 points ahead. And for me, that gives me a little bit more, and we're stronger. And we're stronger again now. We have a deeper squad. So again, it's just like the Chelsea game. People said, oh, Arsenal didn't go for it. We didn't have to. We were 3-2 up. It's going to be on you if we come to the Etihad for you to
win.
Come trash us.
Yeah. That's why I said to you, it's a completely different story if then we come back next week and you guys either lose to Brentford or draw points and City win, and it's now a 3-point gap. That's why I said it all goes down to what the gap is at that game. Because
the game is still in April, even a 3 game.
That's what I'm saying. It's so long from now. We still got Champions League that we don't know how that's going to affect both teams.
Yeah.
This is all like you guys might go far in the competition. So then now you're in a predicament. You have to rotate the squad. Now, if you rotate the squad in the Prem because you have this decent amount of gap, then you could draw points then. This is the thing about all competitions.
Again, the good thing about the Champions League again is we've put ourselves again in a very good stead.
In a good spot, yeah.
Arsenal being top of the Champions League means we play all our second leg games back at the Emirates.
At home.
So even if we go away when we're going there, we can afford to rotate and try to draw away. Then wait for them to come home to play us. So again, these are all the things that for me gives me a little bit more confidence. Like, all right, you have all of this at your beck and call. Mikel Arteta, you have to use it. As a manager,
you got to take advantage of it.
You got to take advantage of these options that you have and this all of this goodies that they've thrown in your lap. Again,
it's the same thing with City last year. When I said that we had to go to Santiago second leg, I had a feeling that we weren't going to advance because that second leg at home is such an advantage. I don't think people realize how important playing that second leg at home is.
Yeah. So for me, that's why the Champions League I don't feel like will be too much of a pressure for us. Mm-hmm. Again, we can afford to. We went to Inter and we rotated 7 players. We had 7 new players on the pitch against Inter.
I don't think Arsenal lose this title.
So again, I think the title is going to be. So
can I ask a question? If Arsenal win against Brentford on Thursday, is that for you, Kyle, title done then?
No, like I still like I've been consistent with this every single panel. I said I believe Arsenal are gonna win the league. Like they have no reason not to. But me, obviously, as a City fan, I want us to win the league. Of course, I'm backing the team. I see people pep out. Dude, the guy's done nothing but greatness for this football club. You're always gonna back the manager. Has it dipped a little bit? Of course, but you're still gonna back him and you're gonna back the club. Like for all we know, we could go on a run. Do I expect it? I don't think it's gonna happen because obviously this isn't the City of old or the team that I think can put this stretch together. Because like I've been saying. At the end of the day, I just want the 3 points. The football can be good, the style of play can be good, but at the end of the day, it's 3 points that matters. You win a title by collecting 3 points, and that's it.
And can I something again? Like we probably have an advantage in this next week that we're going into. If we play Brentford tomorrow, get our 3 points. We play Wolves, get our 3 points. By the time we do that back to back, we will be 9 points ahead. Yes, you will have a game in hand, but this will now be the same situation with you in 22-23, where we're ahead with a game in hand. And now you have to come from behind to actually catch up. So
the thing I always say is say you win that game and you have that game in hand, it benefits you. And I always say this because people will say game in hand this, but at the end of the day, you have to win that game in hand. It's not a guaranteed 3 points. Where on the other hand, Arsenal would have already got that 3 points.
I totally agree with you. I'm just even saying like, but that puts a lot more psychological pressure on your team because now it's 9 points ahead. And if for any reason you draw or lose any game before we play you in April, that 9 points just becomes 12. Even though you have a game in hand, it's become 12 now. It's become 11. It's become 10.
We'll see how it goes, guys. But listen, I want to thank everyone that joined us. This will take you, of course, to Jamie Phillips, of course, with all the Liverpool fans, of course, having a crisis meeting. Straight for post, Sal's channel. Go check out his watch along and go check out. Probably he's going live tomorrow talking about the game early in the morning. The Gunner Edge is Dio. Kyle talks football. We want to get Kyle up there. So go and support Kyle and I, of course. Big up to Javon and Cam. I will see you guys tomorrow on Straight Facts with Terry. And then later, after that, we'll see you guys later. And we're out of here, people.